What's up, sneaker fans? Thanks for tuning in to a special More Than Hype video. Now this is going to be a little bit different from the usual review videos that I do because, as you can see from the title, this is a top 23 sneakers of 2023 video where I compiled my list, my personal list, and also in no particular order, the best sneakers that came out this year. It's been a weird year in general, and for sneakers it is no different. So I had a lot of fun putting this list together. Quick rundown on how this is gonna go. Again, in no particular order, but I did organize them by the brand. So we're starting off with the swoosh, and we're getting right into it, starting with number one. And number one is a Jordan 1, and it is the Reimagined Royal Ones. Now before you say anything, this is not a reseller list. Like I said, this is my personal list of what I thought was the best releases in 2023. And despite the fact that these quote-unquote bricked, which really doesn't say anything, there's been a lot of shoes in the past that were not popular that are now popular. And that's just kind of how the cycle goes. So I can see these being a classic in the future. But what I really like about these is they take a classic colorway and we get it in suede. It's a Royal 1 in suede. What is not to love? And it's also really nicely put together. I like the materials. I've had them in hand. In full transparency, I did return them because I paid full retail price. But down the line, I will be getting my pair again. Number two, and this is one of my favorite Air Max silhouettes. It is the Air Max Plus, and it is the collab with a cold wall on the Air Max Plus, the blue colorway. So these did also come out in a black and a white. Those are okay, but the blue really shines out of the three. I love the 3M details on them, and in general the hue of blue that they use, it really gives a Just Dawn 2 vibe to them, and I just really like the look. Unfortunately, these were really hard to get, and it also seems like they were pretty damn limited, so I was not able to get a pair, but you know, who knows. I'm gonna be keeping an eye out, and down the line maybe I'll be able to get that pair. Number three, and I'm trying to keep with the trend, it is a Jordan 3, and it is the Air Jordan 3 in the Reimagined colorway. What I love about these is that they are exactly what you expect them to be. It is the Jordan 3 in the white cement colorway, but sort of aged with a vintage look. The quality of these are really nice. They do fit a little bit big, if you didn't already know, so size down, a half size. That just has to do with the lack of padding around the shoe on the inside. But otherwise, I love the materials, and it's a classic shoe in a classic colorway. Number four, and it is kind of just a silhouette, it is the Airship. Now, some people hate the Airship. I'm not sure why. They call it a bootleg Jordan 1, which is weird because it was literally the original Jordan 1. It was the prototype of the Jordan 1, so calling it bootleg just doesn't make any sense to me. But there's been a lot of Airship releases, and my favorite out of all of them is the Every Game colorway. It has crackled leather as well as a really nice suede around the eyelets, and of course around the heel as well. The materials are top notch, really, really nice. Insole as well. Overall, an A1 sneaker release. I don't care that you don't like them. I think they're really cool. Number five, and keeping up with the trend of trying to match up these numbers with the name of the shoe, it is not a Jordan 5. If I had to sum it up, 2023 was really the year of the runner, or the running sneaker. And number five is the Vomero 5 in the SuperSonic colorway. Now the Vomero 5 has had quite a year in 2023. A lot of people are wearing these because of that Cushlon midsole. It is super comfy. The wear on the upper is also really forgiving. It's a regular to wide fit on the upper, so pretty much anyone can wear them. Great for casual wear, but you can also actually work out in them because, you know, you have Zoom as well as Cushlon in the midsole. There's been a lot of colorways, but man, the SuperSonic colorway is the best out of all of them. I really love the black accents around the toe box. You know, when it comes to a good colorway, it's not just about using cool colors, but it's about accentuating the different panels on the shoe or making sure that the colorway matches up with the silhouette. And they hit the nail right on the head with these. In addition to those details, the glow-in-the-dark pieces around the heel as well as the midfoot cage is amazing. I love how those look. I wish I was able to get a pair. Missed out, but again, this is gonna be a shoe that's on my radar, in 2024. Number 6, the Dunk has also had a really big year in 2023. You might be surprised that you haven't heard one yet, but that's where this one comes in, and this is my favorite Dunk, SB Dunk of 2023, and it is the Yuto Horigome colorway on the Dunk SB Low. I just really love the mixture of colors that they used on these, the blue, the green, the brown, the pink, all together, and it's all in this like very washed tone, and it's further accentuated by the colors of the materials, or the choice of materials rather, that they use here. That nubuck with the blue for the majority of the overlays is just an amazing combination. Just goes so well together. It's a unique colorway as well, and that Yuto's logo on the heel is also looking pretty damn cool. I like that feather logo. Number 7. Now, like I said, this is my personal list, so it's gonna come with things that I personally like, and the Foamposite is one of my all-time favorite silhouettes, and the best foam colorway that has come out in 2023 has got to be the Dream World Foams, the DMV exclusive. Now, I was lucky enough to get these off the raffle on, I believe, Social Status. They did also come out with a black and white colorway with a very similar sort of like wavy design on the upper, but man, this DMV exclusive is the best out of the bunch. It's almost a fusion of those two previous colorways, and it just looks amazing. It's a shoe that I wear pretty often, honestly, and yeah, just the best foam colorway that has come out in 2023. Number 8 is gonna be a Kobe 8, and it is the Protro Kobe 8 in the Halo colorway. Now, I understand that this is an all-white colorway, so there isn't really anything that stands out about them. For me, what it is just what it stands for. The fact that these released on Kobe's birthday, and the fact that they're named Halos and the tragic story behind his death, altogether just makes this an incredibly important release to me. I'm getting emotional just talking about it, but man, R.I.P. Mamba, but man, at number 8 is the Kobe 8. Moving on, number 9, and we have another Dunk. I know I just said that the Yuto Dunks are my favorite, but this is a close second, and it is the Jarritos Dunk. It is just a fun concept, a soda company making a dunk. It's an unlikely duo that came out with something really amazing. I love the materials used. I love that you can rip off some of the pieces on the upper to reveal the orange on the inside. I love the embroidery of the jug on the side as well. Just in general, a colorful, fun release from SBs. And we're sticking with the SB department for number 10, and it is the Air Jordan 4 SB. Now, what I really love about these is it's almost like a Protro of the Jordan 4. They made the midsole softer. We got some zoom in there. The materials were made to be a little bit more abrasion resistant because it is a skateboarding shoe. And the colorway is also not half bad either. I really like the green. I'm really hoping that they release more colorways using the same silhouette. Number 11, and it is another classic silhouette that's been updated. It is the Union Jordan AJKO in leather. Now, the whole point of the AJKO was, as far as I know, a Jordan 1 in canvas material. And Union flipped that on its head and said, we don't care, we want a leather version. And man, I'm so glad they did it. I did not know that I was gonna like them that much, but seeing the AJKO in leather, it's a wider toe box, I think they look really nice. And it comes with the removable swooshes, so you can change those out, give them a completely different vibe depending on, you know, where you're going. But man, I like what they did with the AJKO. At number 12, we have a little bit more sneaker history. At number 12, we got the Air Max 1 86 Big Bubble. Now, these came out with a medium amount of fanfare, but that doesn't matter because this was the original Air Max 1 before they realized that in cold weather the Big Bubble cracked. If you've ever seen this poster, here or here, I'll put it somewhere. If you've ever seen this poster and thought, why does that airbag look so big? The visible air unit on Air Max 1s are really not that big, and that is the reason why. This was, or that marketing material was made from the Air Max 186 Big Bubble, or that first release, before Nike engineers had to very quickly make something new and reduce the size of the visible air unit so that it would not crack, and that is the Air Max unit that we know today. A fun piece of history: the bigger air unit doesn't make these any more comfortable than regular Air Max ones. It really is just for show, which was disappointing, but still, the fact that we got them, especially in the OG colorway as well as some others, is still pretty cool, and it made the list. Moving on to lucky number 13, and it is a Air Jordan 13. It is the Air Jordan 13 in the Wheat colorway. Now, it has been a decade, maybe longer, since these have retroed, and I'm so glad they did. 13s have a lot of clean colorways. Many have retroed and re-released over the years, but for whatever reason, the 13s never released in the Wheat colorway until now, and I'm so glad they did. One of the cleanest colorways of the 13 in my opinion, and just like a lot of retros right now, they're not selling out, which means they're going on sale, and that's only good for you and me, because we get to save some money and we won't go bankrupt. That about rounds it up for everything from the swoosh. They took up more than half of the list, but that is, you know, not really a surprising thing because they pump out the most releases. But now let's get into New Balance. And starting at number 14 for New Balance is the Stone Island collab on the 574. Now, I actually did a review video for these. I'll put a link somewhere here to that video if you want to see it. But man, they took the 574 and they really dressed them up. I love what they did with the materials, to the patch on the tongue. Everything was just super nice on these. The quality as well. Really well done collab. That's how you do it. And that brings us to number 15 on the list, and this one is the New Balance 998 30th anniversary. So this is the OG gray colorway. Anything from New Balance in gray is okay with me. And even though these aren't really a popular shoe, the 998 really was the shoe that got me into New Balance, or at least the made in US New Balances. I would say it was a hard pill to swallow to be buying New Balances for over $200 or somewhere around that with tax. But I had a pair of 998s, I loved them, I wore them into the ground, and then I really understood what people are saying when they say the made in US versions are worth the extra price. And I 100% agree with that now. But anyway, moving on to number 16, and it is the New Balance 576 in the veg tan colorway. Now, these were on the New Balance website for like 2 days. I was really gonna get them because I love vegetable tanned leather. Just the patina and the wear over time is something that I'm really into, because I take care of my things, especially my sneakers, and to be able to, you know, have something of high quality that will wear over time and gain character is something I like. It kind of reminded me of the pinnacle release of the Air Jordan 1 in the veg tan leather. They sold out and I was not able to get them, but still it makes the list because of how nice they are. Number 17 is another collab from New Balance, and it might not be what you think it is. It is the New Balance collab on the Rainier boot with Junya Watanabe. Now, you might have not even heard of these because it took a little digging for me to even find out that these were a thing, but what was chosen here on the colorway itself was like a wheat, almost like a flax colorway. I love my Timbs, and these have that vibe, and it is a sneaker boot, so putting the two together, I also love the Rainier boot, so putting that with this colorway and these materials, especially that nubuck, I just really like how these looked, and they made the list. Moving on to number 18, and these are actually a general release from New Balance, so no collab. The New Balance 9060 has had a really great, I think, 2 years. The first released in either 2021 or 2022. I'm not exactly sure when. One of those 2 years, but these are the 9060 is one of the new silhouettes from New Balance that's really catching on, like the 550. So they had the 327, but those kind of fizzled out. They had the XC72s, but those kind of fizzled out. The 9060 is here to stay because the price is good, they look good, and they're also comfortable. So that is, number 18 is really just the silhouette, but I want to put a colorway on it because this is supposed to be best of 2023, and it is the quartz gray colorway. I really like the nappy suede on these. It's a clean colorway. It's New Balance and gray. They go together. Number 19, and we're getting back to collabs, and it is the RLE 1906 R. These came out in two different colorways, like a white one and a blue one. For this list, this got to be the blue one. The white ones are okay. It seems like that's the one that more people are kind of gravitating towards, but to me, they just kind of look dirty. And especially with that mesh material on the upper, I know that these are going to get dirtier. And what are they going to look like once they're actually dirty, when they're already looking like that? So for me, I think the blue colorway accentuates the panels better than the white colorway. That's number 19. And we're going to keep it moving to number 20. And number 20 is the Carhartt collab on the 990 V6. Now what I love about the V6 is we get some new tech in a very familiar heritage silhouette. So the 990 V6 is taking a lot of the design notes on the upper at least, but giving us modern foam tech in fuel cell in the midsole. Now this combination is a winning combination. I don't know why more sneaker companies do not understand this. Let's take for example the Air Jordan 1 Zoom. That wasn't what we were asking for, but you tried. I'm not sure why you gave us the Zoom Air unit, Nike, but you messed with the upper. Those are just gonna go on clearance. You do you. It doesn't really matter to me. And at number 20, that rounds out the list for New Balance. And now we're moving on to the three stripes, starting with Ronnie Fieg's Samba Crepe shoe. So this is his 8th Street collab with Adidas on the Samba, basically taking a Samba upper, taking the crepe soles from Clark's and putting them together. These have been an absolute hit. People love these, which is a little bit strange to me because Adidas actually releases or has released crepe versions of the Samba themselves, but for whatever reason they prefer this look over those. I think it's just the colorways. But anyway, people love them, and it is honestly a nice shoe, but the retail price is a little bit steep for a Samba, at least in my opinion. So I haven't gotten them, but I've seen a lot of people wearing them around the city, and they look nice, and I'm sure they're comfortable. It is, after all, a Clark's crepe sole, and I love me a Wallaby. But moving on, number 22, and this is the only release from Adidas that has made the list, and it's an old one. It is the Yeezy 350 in the Pirate Black colorway. This is more for nostalgia than any other reason. I know that right now, some of the older Yeezys, like the 750, to some don't look good anymore. To me, I still like them, and I would like to see a re-release of the 750s. But the 350s and the Pirate Blacks was almost like the pinnacle to me of Yeezy hype, and to see them re-release was just really cool. And they make the list for that reason. It's my list, and I put them in. And lastly, for number 23, to round out the list, I had to put an Asics in here because Asics are some of my favorite daily shoes. The Nimbus line is something that I wear to walk around because they're just so comfortable. It is the Asics Gel NYC in the Oyster Gray colorway. Now I'm pretty sure that this was a 2023 release. If not, I'll put something here. But man, maybe I'm a little biased, but the Gel NYC is, I think, a perfect blend of Asics performance and streetwear. It's like the Kayana 14 meets something like the Nimbus, and I really like how these look. They're comfortable, and just in general, they are really nice. So that is the end of the official top 23 sneakers of 2023, but I can't leave it at 23. We're gonna have a round number, and there are a lot of shoes that just didn't make the list because of a lack of space. So I have 2 honorable mentions, so we can think of them as number 24 and 25. Starting with the first one, it is the Air Max 1 in the Urawa colorway. It was the silver colorway, which are okay, but Nike, these aren't the ones we want. We want the red colorway. The silvers are okay, but the red is even better. And I hope you watch this video and you release them in 2024. And lastly, it is a shoe that is not really very popular, but I like them because LeBron is my favorite basketball player. It is the Air Zoom Generation in the first game colorway. I like these because Nike is lying to us. These aren't even the shoes that he wore for his first game. It should be called the first away games, but that does not roll off the tongue the same way that first game does. Anyways, the Air Zoom generation is also in its own way a sneaker boot, and that's why I like them so much. It's just a rugged sneaker that you can wear outside, just walking around, but if you need to, you can also hoop in them. So that about wraps it up for me. This is going to be a long video. If you guys at the end, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you feel like I missed any sneaker that you think should have been put into the list. And that brings us to the end of this top 23 video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like the video if you want more sneaker content, and I'll catch you on the next video. Happy holidays and have a happy new year.